My uncle told me I was wasting my time with community college when I should be working his construction sites. 3 years later, he showed up begging me to hire him. I was 19 when I enrolled at the local community college for nursing. My uncle Mike ran what he called a successful construction company. 3 crews, a dozen projects going at once, new trucks every other year, and he never let me forget that I was making the wrong choice. You could be making real cash right now, he'd say at every family dinner, usually right when I was mid-bite. Books don't pay bills. My youngest guy makes $22 an hour, and he's dumber than a box of rocks. My dad would just shrug and change the subject. My mom would squeeze my hand under the table. The comments never stopped. At my high school graduation party, Mike cornered me by the grill. "So you're really doing this nursing thing? You know that's like 4 years of school, right? You could own a house by then if you just came to work for me." I told him I'd already made up my mind. He laughed and walked away, shaking his head. I worked night shifts at a gas station to pay tuition. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., 4 nights a week, studying during the slow hours between 2 and 5 when barely anyone came in. Mike would drive by sometimes in his big Silverado, slow down at the window, and just shake his head at me like I was the saddest thing he'd ever seen. Never bought anything, just wanted me to see him seeing me. The worst was when he brought his whole crew in one Saturday morning. I was exhausted from a double shift, barely keeping my eyes open. They bought energy drinks and beef jerky, and Mike made sure to announce to everyone in the store, "My nephew's too smart for honest work, wants to be a nurse." His guys laughed right on cue. One of them asked if I was gonna give them sponge baths someday. More laughing. I just scanned their items and took their money. Told them to have a good day. Mike left a penny as a tip. My dad called me that night and said I shouldn't let Mike get to me, that he was just old school and didn't understand. I told Dad I didn't care anymore, and I really didn't. I had 2 more years of school, and then I was done with all of it. Clinical rotations were brutal. I was working 12-hour shifts at the hospital for training, then going straight to my gas station job, sleeping maybe 4 hours a day, eating vending machine food. My classmates started dropping out one by one. Too hard, too much, not worth it. I kept going because I had something to prove, and I wasn't even sure to who anymore. I graduated on a Tuesday in May. My parents came. My younger sister came. Mike didn't. He posted on Facebook that same day about landing some huge commercial contract. Congratulations to me, I guess. I passed my boards on the first try. Got hired at the county hospital in August. They started me at $68,000. I stared at the offer letter for 20 minutes. That was more than my dad made as a warehouse supervisor. More than I'd ever imagined making at 22. The first year was hard, but I loved it. Night shifts in the ER, trauma cases, teaching families how to care for their loved ones. Within 2 years, I was pulling $82,000 with shift differentials and overtime. I picked up extra shifts because I genuinely enjoyed the work. I bought a small house when I turned 24. Nothing fancy, 1,200 square feet in an older neighborhood, but it was mine. I planted flowers in the front yard. Then everything changed. Mike's business collapsed. I heard it through family whispers first. Bad investments in some property that fell through. Then a lawsuit from a client over faulty work. His crews left. His trucks got repossessed. The guy who'd spent years telling me I was wasting my life was suddenly drowning. He called me on a Tuesday afternoon. I was home after a night shift, still in my scrubs, making coffee. His voice sounded different, smaller, tired. He said he needed work, any work. Asked if the county hospital was hiring for maintenance or security. Anything I could put in a good word for. He didn't apologize for anything he'd said, didn't acknowledge any of it, just needed help. I let him finish talking. Then I told him those positions pay $19 an hour. The line went quiet for a long time. I could hear him breathing. Finally, he said, "That's barely minimum wage." I replied, "Yeah, but at least it's honest work." He hung up without another word.